Hey guys, it is day number 46 of 90. So we are over the hump on 90 days of Facebook Lives. My name is Alan Thomas, and I have Rethink Dieting for Men, and it's part of Transform My Future, which is the page that I broadcast from. But tonight, I'm going to start just like I always do. I let people know my story because, if you don't know me, you need to know where I'm coming from. In 2017, I stepped on the scales on March 2nd and saw 304 pounds. And I'm only 5'11". And when I saw that, it freaked me out. I was like, oh my God, I'm over 300 pounds. I didn't weigh very often back then because it's not much fun to weigh when you're morbidly obese. And, if I saw 299, it wouldn't have probably even affected me. But 304 just completely, jolted me. And what happened over the next 265 days was really life changing for me. And I committed publicly to losing 129 pounds by November 22nd, 2017. I actually hit it on November 17th, so 5 days early. But I learned a whole bunch of stuff along the way. And, people were coming to me for ideas and different things about it. And it occurred to me throughout my journey, I had been on just like tons of diets in my life. Every time I'd lose 5 pounds or lose 50 pounds or lose 20 pounds, and I'd gain back more of it the next time. And, it really was never about the diet. I mean, do you have to change what you eat? Of course you do. I did. I mean, of course you do. Is it about exercise? Do you have to exercise some? Of course you do. Some, I mean, depending on the individual person. But at the end of the day, it was really about rethinking the whole process. And I just became very frustrated with the whole diet industry. And, there's some great diet programs out there and all, but if that was the answer, if that was really the answer, wouldn't everybody, this sort of say all the time, wouldn't all the men have 32-inch waist and six-pack abs? And so, you know, I started last year. I had a man reach out to me, and I started working with him. I was doing business coaching, and I had my insurance business, and he asked me to help him on his journey. And what really intrigues me most about men that are morbidly obese like I was is how much potential that there is, that we're afraid to step out because of our obesity, and we're just, we feel shunned. I talk to a lot of men, they're so embarrassed by how they look, and they don't feel like they can speak up, and so they tend to, the kind of guy I was, we tend to kind of take a back seat because of the fact that we're morbidly obese. And it felt like I was less than. I mean, I did. It's like when you walk into a room, and people are looking at you, and that feeling. And or when you get on an airplane and have to use two seatbelts, oh my God, that's so embarrassing. And or getting on a theme park ride with your kids, and they have to come over and help you with the bar because you're too stinking fat. And that was me. And I don't say this to shame anybody else, I'm just talking about myself. And I don't say it to make you think that I'm anything special. I'm just a guy that figured a way through this wilderness of obesity, and I help men conquer it. But so much of the challenge, we make this big issue out of food. And is that important? Of course it is. It's like saying wheels to the car are not important. Of course it's important. You've got to change your eating habits. But at the end of the day, it's, again, if that was the only problem, we'd all already be thin. So I take a little different approach, and a lot different approach actually. And guys get results. But what I want to talk to you about tonight is, this thought that it's somebody else's responsibility, to lose the weight. I mean, it's, I put that on my wife's shoulders a lot of times. We've been married now 34 years, and it was like her responsibility to cook for me. I mean, she's not my slave or anything, but I felt like she needed to help me more. She needed to do all these things, and she did tons and tons of them, and it didn't do any good. So she got pretty frustrated with the whole process. And so, I was thinking this morning, I was making, I love to cook. And a lot of things I cook I don't eat because they just don't fit into my nutrition plan that I adhere to. And it's not that, I still have treats, I still have things, but I've just completely rethought the whole process around food for me. And when I'm working with the men that I coach, this is what we work on. But this idea that the house has got to be policed of every single bad thing in the house is just crap. That's not true. I mean, this morning, I made this concoction. I mean, it looked amazing. Everybody was like raving about it. I decided to make a cinnamon bun and a waffle together and so it's got like a zillion calories. And I know I'm probably going to get some pushback from people who say, oh my God, you shouldn't be telling people to eat that kind of thing. I'm not telling you to eat that. If you're overweight, you shouldn't be eating anything like that. Or if you, but there's individuals, people have kids, people have family members that want to treat occasionally. Well, that's fine. They don't have to stop living just because I'm sticking to a program or I choose not to. And so, you know, I didn't have a taste. I wasn't even tempted. I mean, it looked phenomenal, but it was like, I just appreciated the fact that, I was loving on my family by fixing them something that they really enjoyed. And they were just like, oh my God, this is the most amazing thing ever. But it wasn't what I wanted to eat. It was just something that looked like fun to cook and I wanted to experiment with it. And so I'm telling you this, not to impress you that I've got these, that I'm, able to resist temptation, but to tell you that these are muscles that had to be built over time. And when I'm working with men, I don't want them to avoid everything in the world, but reach in and to become that person. I mean, if you ever met that person, they're always like 200 pounds overweight. Like, I was 130 pounds, 100 pounds overweight, and they're on a diet all the time. And I never wanted to be that guy. I didn't want to be that guy that was a pain in the butt at every party and everything. And you don't have to be. And so, there's so many stories I could tell you what happened on my journey. And men, one of my guys the other day, he was sitting there staring at a box of donuts. He hadn't eaten them. He's losing weight right now. His family had them. He was just laughing at them. So you can build that muscle and have a life and not be just owned by the food and let it take everything from you. Because I don't talk a lot about the food with on these lives, because it's like 2% of the problem. I mean, maybe 10%. I don't know. I don't. I just know that when we're thinking about losing weight and thinking about reaching our ideal weight, we make it all about the how. And when a man realizes that that's the 10%, and that it is amazing how quickly the weight can come off. It's amazing. And me, I mean, 260 days, 129 pounds. And people told me, hey, you can't do that. I had people, saying that you wouldn't do it. I said, hey, I'm eating healthy. I'm following a proven plan, whatever. And hey, here I am 3.5 years later, still in the 170s. So, has it been a struggle sometimes? Heck yeah. Am I perfect all the time? No. Do I occasionally have the waffle myself? Yes. But I want you to get that you are in control. You are in control. Take responsibility. It's if you're an individual that struggles like I did, because I couldn't imagine thinking this way 3 years ago. I couldn't imagine it. It was so far from my perspective. I can't even tell you. The thought that I could own my behavior and change my future. I mean, I may get hit by the Domino's pizza driver tomorrow, but hope I don't. So you don't know what day you're checking out, but God, wouldn't it be awful if you died too soon because of obesity, because you couldn't put down the stinking fork? And that was me. Man, I was on my way to the grave. I was positively on my way to the grave. I know I was. And I turned it around, and men are turning around every day. But what's even way cooler is they're finding these veins of gold in their life, the things that they've been missing out on. And I'm not talking about food. What I'm talking about is the life that they wanted, the things that, the dreams that they had, that they just kept pushing it down the road, kicking the can down the road, one more week, one more month, one more year, one more decade. And then they wake up and they're 50 or 55 or 60, like I was 55. and they realize that the clock's ticking, but they're too embarrassed by their obesity to take action on their goals and dreams. And when I see these guys taking action on their goals and dreams, man, it just impacts me. I mean, I got goosebumps right now thinking about it. I swear to, and it impacts me. And so and if you're somebody I'm speaking to right now, if you're watching this video and you're a guy that's morbidly obese, don't give up. Do not give up. That's what I'm saying to you. It is not hopeless. I consider myself the worst of the worst. I mean, I was the guy that went and got a meal out and got another meal on the way home because I was hungry and hid and ate and all do. You name it, I did it. But you may weigh more than I did at that time. You may weigh less than I did at that time. But if you're not in control, if you're not able to handle it, and you're stuck and you don't know how to get anywhere, hey, reach out to me. Let's do a breakthrough call. I talk to men every day that are obese, and you know, a lot of men want to come into my program. It doesn't fit everybody. I'm pretty clear on that. It's not for everybody. But if you're that guy that that you realize that the clock's ticking and you've shortened your life by 9, 10, 12 years, if you don't do something about it, think about what that's going to do to your family. Think about what that's going to do to your kids. These are things I thought about. Think about what that's going to do to, when you wake up and God's put a purpose on your heart. You might not even know what it is, but it's there. And I didn't know this would be it, for crying out loud. I wasn't thinking, oh, I'm going to coach men and have a program where men lose all this weight. That was the furthest thing from my mind, I can tell you. But I knew there was something. And so I'm on a mission. I mean, I am. And if you're a guy that struggles, if you're a man that struggles with obesity and don't think there's a way out, man, I know the way through the wilderness. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a nutritionist, dietitian, a physical fitness expert. I say that all the time. I'm just a guy that figured out a way out, and I'm showing men how to get out. And it's amazing to watch the journey. The weight that they lose, it's great. I mean, that is great. But the life that they get in exchange is priceless. And that may sound corny, but I'm telling you, it's real. And reach out to me, transformmyfuture.com/apply. I've got a masterclass at rethinkdieting.com that you can watch. It's about a 45-minute masterclass. Book a call with me if you want to discuss. If you feel stuck and you just want to discuss what's going on and see if my program's right for you. It's not for everybody, but if you're sick and tired of this obesity thing and ready to do something about it, reach out to me. There is a way out. So be inspired, be encouraged, and do not give up. So you guys have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow for day number 47 of 90. We're getting through those days, knocking them out. So bye.